Escape from Tarkov 1.0 has finally released, and the long awaited main story quests have been added to the game. I'm currently playing through Tarkov 1.0 to make my full review of the game, but there is a lot of confusion around these main quests and how to complete them. So here is the complete guide for the main quest, Accidental Witness. Before we start diving into the step by step guide, there is a few things that you need to know. This quest will require 3 keys in order to complete, and thankfully all of these keys are available for purchase on the flea market. So I would highly recommend saving this quest for when you are able to purchase these keys to make your life easier. The keys that you will need are the 2-story dorms 110 key, the Samiski 3 apartment key, and Rashala's bunkhouse key. Also, you will need access to Shoreline in order to complete this quest. If you need more information on how to unlock Shoreline, I have a complete guide for the main quest tour linked in the description below. Finally, this quest has a few bugs that will hopefully be fixed in the future, but in the meantime, please comment down below if you encountered any bugs during this quest to help out the community. I will showcase any bugs that I encountered to make you aware of them as you progress through this quest. Also, some of the optional and main quest objectives will show that you failed the objective even though you completed the quest, so don't worry about this when you're progressing through your quest. Now for the step-by-step portion of this guide. This quest will not start until you visit a specific location on Customs, and I would highly recommend bringing the Dorms 110 key when you're trying to start this quest. Here is the map of Customs and the location of the quest. You will need to make your way to this set of cars in front of the 3rd-story dorms. Once you go near the cars, you will get a notification that you have started the Accidental Witness quest. This quest will automatically update asking you to find out where Kozlov lived. This is where you need the Dorms 110 key. When you go to the 2nd-story dorms, the room 110 will be locked with a note on the side of the door that you can pick up to progress the quest. This is a good time to mention that this quest requires you to read the notes to progress the quest, so try to get in the habit of reading the notes as you pick them up. The quest will update asking you to find what Kozlov was involved in. This step requires you to unlock the 110 room and pick up a note on this desk right here. Once you read the note, the quest will update and have you ask the traders about a woman named Anastasia. You do not need to survive an extract from customs to complete this step. For this step, you need to visit Skier and ask about Anastasia in order to progress the quest. Once you finish talking to him, you will make a deal to go to the apartments on Streets and check out Skier's Accomplice for information about Anastasia. Here's the map of Streets and the location of the apartment. You will need the new Zamiski 3 apartment key in order to access the apartment. Once you find the building with the playground, follow my path into the apartment building. The apartment that you need will be on the first door to your left, next to this mailbox. Once you're inside, you will need to pick up both of these documents and read them in order to complete the quest. This quest has multiple lore entries that need to be picked up in order to complete the quest, and some of them don't actually further the quest. So make sure you're actually checking to see if your quest updates before moving on to other steps. As you can see, I almost didn't pick up the second document in this apartment, and I would have to go back and do this all over again if I didn't double check my progress in the raid. After investigating the apartment, you will need to survive an extract from Streets. However, I don't believe this needs to be done in the same raid. After you survive from Streets, you need to report your findings to Skier. When you talk to him, he basically tells you that he doesn't really know much about an Anastasia and you should go talk to Ragman. When you visit Ragman, he'll give you a little bit of lore about Anastasia and tell you that they were actually together at one point before Tarkov fell, which, holy, good for you, man.
Oh, she's hot.
After talking to Ragman, he will tell you to check out the apartment on the Streets map. So go back to Streets and the location of her apartment is here. Follow my path from the collapsed crane extract. It's important to note that you have to go around this building in order to reach her apartment. And Kaban's guards will be nearby on a rooftop with mounted machine guns, so try to avoid them if you can. Hopefully the guards will not see you, so try to just hug this side of the building while you make your way down this main road. Make your way down this alley and turn to the left and make your way through these 2 gates and move toward the apartment building. Be careful for players in the windows or scavs that spawn near the apartments. Once you reach this door, make your way to the top of the stairs until you get a notification that the quest has been updated. Once you get this notification, the quest will update telling you to learn more about Anastasia and investigate the entrance of the apartment. You need to go back down the stairs and look for the mailbox that is mounted on the wall. There will be 2 documents for you to pick up, and you will need to read both of them to progress the quest. Once you read both the documents, the quest will update telling you to locate Pasha and look around the dorms on customs. You do not need to survive an extract from streets in order to progress this quest. So we have to go back to the dorms on customs, but you don't actually have to go inside the dorms again. The quest is located behind the 2-story dorms. Make your way to these 2 rocks, and the quest item will be at this rock next to a bicycle. Make sure to read this note when you pick it up to progress the quest. After you read the note, the quest will update and you will have to talk to Skier. You do not need to survive from customs to progress this step. When you talk to Skier, he will talk to you about Reshala and his bunkhouse stash. You will need to gain access to Reshala's bunkhouse key in order to progress this quest. The quest will have an optional objective for you to kill Reshala and loot his key. But I have killed Reshala multiple times in the past and the key was never on him. I would highly recommend just buying the key off the flea to make your life easier. But regardless of what path you take, once you get the key, you need to head to this location on customs. When you get to the bunkhouse, make sure to search for multiple notes around the area and read each one until the quest updates to locate Kozlov's hideout on Shoreline. You do not need to survive an extract from customs to progress this step. The last step in this main quest is to locate Kozlov's hideout on Shoreline. Here is the map of Shoreline and the location of the quest. I would highly recommend that you bring the tape recorder into your special slot so that way you can finish this quest in raid. Make your way into the village area and go into this wooden fence and find the house with the shovel in the front of it. Make your way inside and locate the body, and when you walk into the room, the quest will update telling you to locate and obtain Kozlov's evidence. And this is where I encountered a glitch. The body is supposed to have a picture of Anastasia in its hand right here, but my game didn't have this and give me an option to pick up the picture, because it didn't load in. This quest item gives you a clue of where the missing evidence is, and the way that it's supposed to work is that when you pick up the picture, if you turn it around, there is a flower bed on the back of it as a clue to where the tape recorder is. But since my game didn't let me pick up the picture, I had no idea where to locate the tape. If this happens to you, you can still complete the quest. Just make sure to make your way outside to the flower bed and move your cursor around until you get a prompt to pick up the tape. Once you pick up the tape, you will have a prompt to play the tape, and as soon as you insert the tape, the quest will complete and you will have successfully finished the Accidental Witness quest. And you do not need to worry about surviving the raid. And you're done. Thank you again for all the support on these guides. I'm trying to progress through the main quests as fast as I can, but Tarkov is a very difficult and unforgiving game most of the time, so it's taking me a little bit to get through these quests. I will hopefully be able to finish my time on Tarkov in the next few weeks and be able to start posting my variety content on the channel again. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more gaming-related content. Comment down below if this was helpful or if you encountered any glitches that I didn't cover in this video to help out the community. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!